Hello and welcome to Daily Records. I am Tommy Burton, and today's Byrds-related Daily Record is founding Byrds member Gene Clark and his album Two Sides to Every Story. This album was released in January of 1977, and this was the first album Gene Clark had done since his 1974 album No Other. Now, the album has a few notable tracks on it. One including the traditional folk song In the Pines. Also, Kansas City Southern and Hear the Wind. Both of those songs were written by Gene Clark. And there is another track that some people may know, Give My Love to Marie. That was a story or a song written by James Talley, and it tells the story of a dying coal miner. A really, really heart-wrenching song. The album was produced by Thomas Jefferson Kay, and it includes some really interesting guest musicians. Jeff Baxter, Emmylou Harris is on this album, Byron Berline, Al Perkins, and John Hartford are on this album. Now, the thing about the album, and Gene Clark has really gone on to be a bit of a cult artist. And mine is a white label promo on the RSO label. A bit of a cult artist as a founding member of the Byrds. Clark, wrote several big songs. Like I said, sort of an architect of that folk rock sound. But also wrote songs for bands like the Rose Garden and had material that was covered by quite a few people. But his solo career never quite lived up to the promise that I think that he showed as a Byrd and as a songwriter. This album is no exception. It's pretty uneven, but I think that Gene Clark as a songwriter, he really shines on this album. And it's not a perfect album. There is some weak material here. But if you want to know how he is as a singer and as a songwriter, I think this is one of the best albums to seek out. It's low key, and it does. He's not like a sort of a vocalist. He's very understated as a singer. But the album does have a few rock numbers. Now, this album was reissued in 2011, and another vinyl version did come out in 2013. So you can find it out there, and so it is an album that's not impossible to find, at all. But as uneven as it may be, I think this may be one of the better examples of Gene Clark as an artist. And so, it's a shame that Gene Clark and Roger McGuinn probably didn't team up any more than they did, because I think they probably could have come up with some really, really outstanding material. And of course, Clark died in 91, and so we were robbed of this incredible talent. It would have been interesting to see him as he moved into sort of the Americana movement, in that arena. I think widely regarded as a giant, and rightfully so. So today's Byrds-related album, Gene Clark's Two Sides to Every Story. The contest information back at the first video, Mr. Tambourine Man, the first video in this series. And also on my main channel, which you should check out. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. It's TommyBurton75. In the meantime, I'll see you all again tomorrow with another Daily Record.